This jacket doesn't exist. Nobody sewed it. Nobody cut fabric. Nobody even touched a needle. And a brand paid real money for it. 3D fashion is not coming. It's already here. And the people who figured that out 12 months ago are getting paid, while everyone else is still Googling, is this a real thing? It's a real thing. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to get in. Here's what we're covering. I'm going to break down what 3D fashion actually is, not the buzzword version, the actual work and what it involves. I'm going to show you who's hiring and why the demand is growing faster than the talent pool right now. And I'm going to give you a concrete starting path, tools, skills, the order to learn them, so that by the end of this video, you have a real roadmap, not just vibes. One thing I want to say up front though, this space is genuinely different from traditional 3D. And there's one specific reason why most 3D artists who try to break into fashion fail almost immediately. I'll tell you what that reason is. But first, let me show you what we're actually talking about. So a few months ago, a brand DM'd me, mid-size fashion label, nothing massive, and they wanted a quote for a 3D garment collection. Not for a game, not for a film, for their online store and their lookbook. And when I looked at what they were actually asking for, I noticed something that I genuinely didn't expect. Something that completely changed how I thought about this whole space. I'll get to that in a second, but first, let me back up and make sure we're all on the same page about what 3D fashion even is right now, because it's a lot broader than most people realize. "3D fashion, at its core, is designing and rendering clothing and accessories digitally, without ever making a physical sample. Now that sounds simple, but the applications are wild. E-commerce brands are using it so a shopper can see how a fabric drapes on a body without a photo shoot. Luxury houses are using it to cut their sampling costs, because making one physical sample can cost thousands of dollars, and with 3D, you can iterate infinitely before anything gets sewn. Gaming and virtual worlds are using it because players want to dress their characters in pieces that look like actual fashion. And then there's digital fashion, outfits that only ever exist digitally, worn on social media through AR filters or sold as digital collectibles. Gucci did it, Balenciaga did it, Nike did it, Ralph Lauren did it. But here's the part that matters for you and me. The brands doing it now are mostly the massive ones. The mid-size and indie brands, they want in badly, and most of them have no idea how to find the talent to do it. That's the gap. That's where you can actually build something. Okay, back to that brand DM. So I'm reading through what they want, and I'm expecting the usual. Show us some garment renders, put them on a model, nice lighting done. But then I get to the last line of their brief. They wanted the files exported so their manufacturers could use the 3D data directly in production. Not just for visuals, for actual pattern making. And that broke something open for me, because that means the 3D file isn't just a pretty render. It's a working document that feeds into the physical supply chain. That's not a design tool anymore. That's infrastructure. And the moment I understood that, I understood why brands aren't just looking for 3D artists. They're looking for people who understand fashion construction, who know what a dart is, who understand how fabric behaves, who can think like a pattern maker and work like a 3D artist. That is why most 3D generalists who try to jump into this space hit a wall. They can render. They can't construct. And in fashion, those are not the same thing. So the question becomes, if you don't have a fashion background, can you actually learn this? Or is this one of those spaces that's basically gate-kept by people who went to fashion school? The answer surprised me, and it's actually the most encouraging part of this whole video. But before I get there, let me walk you through the tool stack, because that's probably what you actually came here for. There are 3 main tools you need to know about in 3D fashion. Clone 3D. This is the industry standard for garment simulation. It's what actual fashion houses and manufacturers use. It simulates real fabric physics, weight, stretch, drape, and it exports files that production can actually work from. If you're serious about 3D fashion, you will need to learn this at some point. It's not cheap, but there's a free trial, and honestly, it's not as hard to learn as it looks. Marvelous Designer. Same underlying simulation engine as Clone. They're made by the same company. But Marvelous is aimed more at the CG and game side. If you're coming from Blender or Maya and you want to create clothing for characters or digital fashion without the full manufacturing pipeline, Marvelous is your starting point. It's also more affordable. Browseware. This one's more enterprise level. Bigger brands use it. Worth knowing it exists, but probably not where you start. And then, of course, Blender, Substance Painter, Keyshot, these come in for post-simulation work. Rendering, texturing, making things look like an actual photo shoot. You probably already know some of these. So the short version, start with Marvelous Designer to understand garment simulation. Move toward Clone 3D as you get serious, and use your existing rendering knowledge to finish the work. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, just do it now. Because the follow-up to this video is going to be a full workflow walkthrough inside CLO, 3D, and Marvelous. And you don't want to miss that one. Okay, back to the question I left open. Can you break into 3D fashion without a fashion background? Yes, but with one condition. You have to actually learn the basics of garment construction. Not to the level of a pattern maker, not to the level of a tailor, but enough to understand why a piece of clothing is shaped the way it is. What a seam allowance is, how a sleeve is attached, why a collar sits differently on different necklines. And here's the surprising part. This stuff is actually really learnable. There are free and cheap resources everywhere. Old pattern making books, YouTube channels from actual seamstresses, cheap sewing classes at a local studio. You don't have to sew a single thing. You just need to understand the logic of construction so that your 3D work doesn't look like a draped potato. The 3D artists who are actually breaking into fashion right now, most of them are self-taught on the fashion side. They just took the time to learn it. And that time investment is exactly what creates the gap between them and everyone else who's just trying to jump in with Marvelous and a YouTube tutorial. So here's the actual roadmap. Concrete. In order. Step 1. Learn garment construction basics. Not sewing, just logic. 2 weeks of studying patterns and basic construction is enough to get you started. Look up Patternmaking for fashion design. It's a textbook, it's cheap used, and it'll change how you see clothes forever. Step 2. Learn Marvelous Designer. There's solid courses on this everywhere. Focus on importing avatar bodies, creating panels, running simulations, and exporting clean meshes. Give yourself a month to get genuinely comfortable. Step 3. Build one piece really well. Not a collection. One jacket, one dress, one pair of trousers, and render it like it's for a real brand lookbook, proper lighting, proper pose, proper environment. One great piece beats 10 mediocre ones every single time. Step 4. Start talking to brands. This is where most people stall. They want the portfolio to be ready. It's never going to feel ready. Find indie brands on Instagram. Find small labels that still shoot everything on a budget. Offer to create one digital look for their feed. That's your first client. That's your first real-world piece. Step 5. Move towards CLO 3D once you have income from the work. That's when the subscription cost makes sense, and that's when you unlock the manufacturing pipeline side, which is where the bigger contracts live. Here's what I actually think is happening with 3D fashion right now. We're at the same moment that CGI visual effects were in the mid-90s. The technology exists. The appetite is there. The workflows are being figured out in real time. And the people who get in now, while the talent pool is still thin, are going to be the ones who set the rates, build the reputations, and have the careers that people are watching tutorials about 10 years from now. This isn't get rich quick. Building this skill set properly takes 6 months to a year of focused work. But the ceiling on where it can take you freelance income, studio roles, creative direction for brands. That ceiling is genuinely high right now in a way it hasn't been for most 3D disciplines in a while. I'm not telling you to abandon what you're already building. I'm saying pay attention to this space because it's moving fast. In the next video, I'm going to actually open up CLO, 3D, and Marvelous Designer and walk through building a garment from scratch, panels, simulation, rendering, the whole thing. No skipping steps, real workflow, real time. And I'm also going to show you the portfolio mistake I see almost every 3D fashion beginner make. The thing that kills your chances with a brand before they even finish scrolling through your work. That video is coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed. If this opened up something for you, or if you're already working in 3D fashion and I got something wrong, I genuinely want to know, drop it in the comments. This is a space that's still being figured out in real time, and the more people talking about it honestly, the better for all of us. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.